Ladies and gentlemen, on April 12th, the year was 1954, this very band, along with Bill Haley, we walked into a recording studio in New York City and made musical history by recording the best-selling song ever recorded. It's known now all over the world as the international anthem of rock and roll. It's been reported to have sold over 200 million copies so far. Yeah, you made $41.25. It's sold out. Here, you remember this one. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, rock. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Put your glad rags on and join me. We're gonna have some fun when the clock strikes 1. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock in broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. When the clock strikes 2, 3, and 4, if the band slows down, we'll yell for more. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock in broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. FRANNY BEECHER. And 7, we'll be right in 7th heaven. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. We're gonna rock, rock, rock in broad daylight. We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Oh, Rock Around the Clock was a big highlight in all of our lives because the song has gone on to be the best selling song ever recorded. And we recorded it on April 12th of 1954. And we recorded it in 30 minutes. We already knew the song, and we only had 30 minutes left after recording 13 women and only 1 man in town, which was the A side of the record session. And the A&R man said, okay, now that's a wrap. Go ahead and do that rock thing that you're going to do. That was what he told us. So we had 30 minutes left, and we did 2 takes on Rock Around the Clock, and they put those 2 together and made one great one out of it.
We were at Bill's basement. We used to rehearse there every so often. And we heard it, and you know, Danny Cedrone was there, and all the guys were there, and we just threw it. We didn't know what to do with it. And, but we threw it to, you know, we got the chart again. You know, we didn't write it out or nothing. No, we never wrote anything out. You know, everything was ahead arrangements. And the funny part was, I was just, you know, just 19 at that time, and I only been playing about 4 or 5 years, and that solo in Rock Around the Clock, dun, 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 well, that was supposed to be a jazz, they wanted me to play like a jazz chorus there. But it was in the key of, it's in the key of A, you know, so that put me in B, you know. It's a hard key for saxophone players to really get around. Any saxophone player will tell you that. You can do it, but it's not your best key, you know. So I figured, well, oh boy, I got to make a solo here. And after Danny playing all that great solo that he played, you know, I said, well, I better make it easy. So I swear to dun 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 dun, and that was easy, you know, because it's only a couple of notes.
Back in the 50s, that guitar solo meant nothing. Nobody ever mentioned that guitar solo. It was never a factor. Was nothing. It was just Rock Around the Clock, you know. In later years, that solo came to life. It was a big thing, you know.
Joey brought all those, what was happening in the whole rock field around Philly, which I think was the hotbed of rock and roll, really. When Cleveland was nothing, that was just a couple of disc jockeys. But the music was coming out of Philadelphia, and he brought all this young saxophone player with all the contemporary stuff at that time, and just laid it out to us.
We just played the music because we didn't know exactly what was going to happen or anything else, you know. So it wasn't like we were following a trend. You know, we were trying to make one. So we just had to do what we were going to do and just keep trying to do it and create a monster. You know.
We were starting to get popular all over the place, and when it was being played often, we'd turn the radio on in the car. We were traveling in the car on the road, and every station was playing Rock Around the Clock, and then we really realized that we had a major hit here. It was exciting, very exciting, you know. Wow, we couldn't believe it, you know. Wow, we got a big one. This is really big, son.
It was new, and you know, all of a sudden you're here, and you're right on the pinnacle, and the kids are like trying to rip your shirts off. I mean,
yeah, we were young.
Yeah, I had a lot of explaining to my wife.
We're gonna tear down the mailbox, rip up the floor, smash out the windows and knock down the doors. We're gonna rock this joint. We're gonna rock this joint. We're gonna rock this joint. We're gonna rock this joint tonight. 6 times 6 is 36. I ain't gonna hit for 6 more licks. We're gonna rock this joint. We're gonna rock this joint. We're gonna rock this joint. We're gonna rock this joint tonight.
We were still known as the Saddlemen in those days. This was in 1952. We recorded a song that Jackie Bronstein, I believe, was the first one that recorded it, and it was a rhythm and blues song. And we learned it, and we started doing it in the nightclubs where we performed, and the sailors and the people liked it a lot. So Bill says, we're going to record that. So we recorded it for a small label out of Philadelphia called Essex Records, and Rock This Joint started getting some action. And so we went to Cleveland, Ohio to promote it. And we did a disc jockey interview with a new disc jockey by the name of Alan Freed, who was known at that time as the King of the Moondogs. And he played purely rhythm and blues music. And he played our recording of Rock This Joint, and we were all sitting around a round table in the radio station, in the studio, and Alan had a microphone switch on the wall that he could turn the mic on and off at will. So in the middle of the song, he turns the microphone on and he starts yelling, "Rock and roll, everybody, rock and roll." And after the song was over, the telephone started ringing off the hook. And people kept saying, well, play that rock and roll song again. Play that rock and roll song again. And he played it about 10 or 12 times that night. And every time he'd play it, he'd say, we're going to do that rock and roll song one more time. And I really believe that that was the night that rock and roll got its name.
Grew up in the swing era, in the big band era. Our parents thought that was evil. Okay? Every new music that comes in is evil. It's not like what we had, oh, it's sinful. And that's going to go on forever. So I just dismissed that. You know, we were working, people liked it. The kids were standing up cheering us. Who cares what they were thinking?
The theatrics was created in 1953. We were doing a show in Wildwood, New Jersey, and Joey, our saxophone player, he used to go out and honk at the girls in the audience, and while he would do that, I'd stand on the bass, and then he'd come back and I'd set him on he'd set on the bass with his horn, and I'd slide him across the stage. And we created a whole act of seeing if you could outdo the other one.